Ringing up Christopher Browell, as I normally do every single day. I'm ringing up Christopher Browell.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07769247196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh yes, hello Mr. Browell, it's Mr. Hussein here once again, leaving yourself a daily voice message asking you to engage with me to give me an update and information relating to my brother, considering that it's now been 73 days. 73 days that you've now kidnapped my brother, human trafficked him out of my care, holding him at hostage at ransom, or detaining him under unlawful means, not providing me with any legal framework that you've taken him in, not providing with any clarity of understanding of how you are now in a position to make health and welfare decisions in relation to my brother, other than using the simple term best interest. Who put you in charge of making best interest decisions regarding my brother without any legal authority or framework in place? You know and I know, Mr. Brow, the local authority can't just simply come and kidnap somebody and say we're acting in their best interest and do as they please. Now I understand that he's been registered with the GP that you were requiring me to do many years in August 2022. So you've got this abduction of my brother and taken into your care and custody has worked 100% to your advantage, hasn't it? To your financial advantage, and to because you were insisting that I get my brother registered with a GP practice in Bradford. You were liaising and cooperating or having a back channel of communication with his GP practice in Oldham, telling them, and when I say you, I mean the collective you, either you, Christopher Browell, or Vicina Brown, or any one of your people at the local authority or the district care trust. You had no reason or lawful means to communicate or engage with my brother's medical records in Oldham. You were communicating with them, saying, look, what is the options of getting him? Is he registered somewhere else? Can we get him registered? What is the process? I have a clear recording of Vicina Brown's having this discussion with the GP practice, thus therefore sabotaging any relationship I have with them, highlighting to the GP practices that, oh, are you aware that he's a criminally convicted and safeguarding alerts and we've got concerns and so on and so forth, sabotaging that relationship. And then you were insisting that I get him registered with a GP practice in Bradford, telling them that we've come to Bradford. Why would you tell a GP practice that we've moved to Bradford when it's none of your business to do so? You have no involvement in this. You have no legal basis to instruct the GP practice or make them aware of about our living conditions, but you utilize this information to your advantage. Now that you've kidnapped my brother, you've obviously registered him with the GP practice in Bradford. How have you done that? How have you legally been able to do such a thing? Look, it's either my brother lacks mental capacity, in which case you have a court order acting as his deputy, all right, for health and welfare in addition to property and finances. You've not gone to the courts to get that order. So as far as my understanding is, you have no legal framework to get him registered with a GP practice in Bradford or anywhere for that matter. Because if he lacks mental capacity, you do not have the court order in place. You do not have a lasting power of attorney for health and welfare, which I did, which you, the local authority, in collaboration with the Office of the Public Guardian, then suspended, but negligently failed to put an appropriate person in charge of his health and welfare. Nobody is in charge of his health and welfare, legally speaking. Not you. You don't have a lasting power of attorney for health and welfare. You do not have a deputyship order for his health and welfare. So how exactly have you managed to register him with a GP practice and are now taking care of his medical needs and his health and welfare needs when you have no legal framework in place? That's a simple question which you're failing to answer because it's unlawful. Either it's done that way where you take a charge of and therefore my brother no longer has the requisite my brother no longer has the requisite rights that he's entitled to. Just as you did on the 3rd of August when your senior Nadia Khan and Shamoon Sami and Dr. Nasser came down, and my brother, and they said, we're going to take you now. My brother said, no, I don't want to go with you. And Nadia Khan quite clearly said, no, you don't have a choice in the matter, because we've got 2 doctors and we're sectioning you under the Mental Health Act. So that time when you were deprived my brother of his liberty to refuse was done under the Mental Health Act with 2 doctors, which was always a clear contrivance and a fraud, wasn't it? Because subsequently you were then trying to remove me as the nearest relative. That was over 5 years ago. Now, under these circumstances, either my brother has mental capacity, lacks mental capacity, which allows you to register him. Alternatively, he has mental capacity to register himself with a GP practice in Bradford. Well, if he has the mental capacity to register himself to a GP practice in Bradford, which you wanted, which you required of me, and I said I'm not going to be doing that, because obviously I need to have clarity of understanding of who is now in charge of his health and welfare decisions. If it's not me whom he has authorized previously, when we've registered with the GP practices in Oldham, at Sun Valley, and then at Greenbank, I have had his clear authority. His authority derived from him having mental capacity. This issue of the mental capacity is now completely perverted, because you want it both ways. You want him to have a mental capacity when it serves your agenda and purpose and legal framework, such as having him register with a GP practice in Bradford. That's your narrative and agenda, because you
have 15 seconds recording time remaining.
Yes, Mr. Browell, time is getting the better of me once again, but this idea, the whole point I'm trying to establish today is, how have you got him legally registered if he lacks mental capacity? And if he has mental capacity, then why you should recognize that he's authorized me to act on his behalf. You can't have it both ways. This is clearly fraudulent, and you the council know it.
Your recording time has expired. To leave your message, press 1. Message sent. Thank you for calling.
So I'm just trying to explain to them they can't have it both ways. They made a complete mockery of the law. The law does not allow them to do this. However, what does allow them to do this is they can buy off the capacity assessors. There's no independence, because they themselves are qualified as AMPs. I think it's called independent. What's the AMP stand for? They're AMP qualified. They keep on telling me they're doing an AMP assessment. AMP is it basically allows the council social workers to carry out a mental capacity assessment themselves. And so the only way they can do this is they can get either themselves to do it, or they can get one of their friends at the trust as doctors, such as Dr. Shamoon Sami, Dr. Nasser, Dr. Reshmi Dixon, and the rest, Dr. Shaukat Ali, one of their own lackeys, to just say, look, yeah, just say he lacks a mental capacity, as had Dr. Sami done in November 2018. Yeah, in November 2018, when they last incarcerated him, saying, oh, he lacks mental capacity to make the decision to come off the Section 2, and we believe that he should remain on a Section 3. So quite clearly, Dr. Sami had been coached to say that he lacks mental capacity, and this issue of his mental capacity has always been in a state of flux, which allows the local authority to take advantage of his lacking mental capacity, or they'll railroad it that he lacks mental capacity when it serves their agenda and benefit. So that's what's happened in the past. And now you see this the same issue again. They're now saying that my brother has mental capacity to register himself with a GP practice, but he doesn't have mental capacity to authorize me to act on his behalf. It's all just a contrivance and a fraud and a deception. And it's the same thing. You can't have it both ways. The bottom line is that my brother never lacked mental capacity. The bottom line is that my brother has schizophrenia, mental health problem, but he's very cognitive and cogent about where he is in time, space and time, and what's in his best interest. He can make his own decisions, and he's made the decisions for more than 2 or 3 decades now that I'm his brother, I act on his behalf, I'm his representative, and the local authority simply cannot have that, because obviously this is my job. This is effectively what I do every day to ensure that my brother Talib's rights are being protected and safeguarded. What they want to do is they want to isolate people, put them into a situation where they do not know what's going on, are not fully cogent or cognitive of what their rights are, and then look to exploit their vulnerability under the guise of the, on bullying and intimidating people through authority. They can't bully and intimidate me so easily. So hence why they're just simply looking to ignore me now, not even giving me the basic of answers. And they fully understand and they fully know that what they're doing is unlawful, illegal, and criminal. But there's nothing to stop them from what they're doing. I'm ringing up every single day, leaving them a message, and what they're doing is simply disregarding or refusing to engage with me. What happened to the rights of openness and transparency? If they got nothing to hide, why did they refuse?